Anybody have questions?
I'll take one. Yeah, are you ever gonna? Who's your next fight gonna be, or what's going on?
Hopefully, it's this September boxing debut.
Oh, it's boxing debut.
I want to call it boxing and MMA. So.
All right. So, do you have anyone you're gonna go for, or?
I don't know. It's before like 4 rounds boxing match, and probably next MMA match will be end of November, beginning of December.
What was in the past? What's your favorite fight?
My favorite fight?
Yeah.
I don't know, like all my fights is kind of
Very memorable.
Memorable.
Mm-hmm.
All my fights very memorable for me, but of course I waited my fight against Fedor for a long time, and I did pretty good in the beginning, but I did some mistake and I paid for this, and after my fight against Rogers I just put myself kind of in a bad situation, and you know, I'm like all other fighters, I'm contender right now. I'm looking forward to facing him again. If somebody will give me opportunity to fight Fedor, I'm like Nike, just do it.
Go ahead.
Out of all the fights that you've had, who was your hardest competitor? Who was the hardest fight?
Hardest fight? Hardest fight. All fights hard, but when I fought Pedro Riza, he gave me a lot of pain, you know. And after that fight, all my legs, they were black because of it was a lot of bruises, you know. It's like, I would say, the most painful fight for me. Physical pain.
For us too, emotional.
So do you think like Fedor lived up to his hype? Like, do you think he was as good as they said he was?
Fedor?
Yeah. You think he's like the pound for pound best?
Pound for pound. I don't think so. He's the best fighter pound for pound, but he's a champion right now, and I respect this thing. Everybody has to have a deal with that. And like I said, when I fought him, all my kicks, all my punches, I see it was in the right place. You know, he was hurt, but I did some stupid mistake. What's worked for me against Ben Roswell didn't work against him. So he's not superhuman. He's just a good fighter, and he has a great fighting experience, and obviously he's a champion.
Go ahead.
Do you currently have like contractual negotiations with some MMA?
Yeah, I have my manager for this, and he's probably talking already with somebody.
Do you have any plans to compete in Sambo again?
Sambo? I don't think so.
Go ahead.
Do you have any future plans for?
Future plans? My future plan to be on top again, you know.
You want to be in American movies?
I would like, but you know, actually, I don't know, you know guys or not. I was in the Universal Soldier Part 3 with Van Damme and Duff Lambert, and it was fun. It was fun, and director was John Himes. He directed Russian Machine. He's very talented. We had a lot of fun in Bulgaria. Of course, if somebody give me opportunity to be like in a big blockbuster in the US, I win.
300 sequel.
There you go. Go ahead.
How old are you when you started like martial arts, and what was the first thing you started?
In 1999, I became world champion in Sambo, and 2 weeks later, I had my first fight on October 8, 1999. So I was 20 years, and I got my ass kicked.
Yeah. How do you size up the fight for tonight, Silver versus Griffin?
Definitely it will be a very difficult fight for Forrest, but I hope Forrest beat Anderson. So
Yeah.
I hope.
So what do you think about Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
When are you gonna come kick his
Yeah,
butt?
when are you gonna kick his ass?
He's a champion, you know, and I guess he did a great job. He just had 3, 4 MMA fights, and he's already
Yeah.
UFC heavyweight champion. For my heavyweight belt, I had 5 years fights, you know, and he's a champion. It doesn't matter like what people talking. I personally don't like him, but he's a champion, and this is great.
So you ever see any return for you at the UFC or what?
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Sure, you go beat his ass.
Would you want to fight him? Would you want to fight him?
Like I said, if you want to be the best, you have to fight the best fighters. Obviously, he's a heavyweight UFC champion and world champion, and of course, he's the best. I want to face him.
Go ahead.
Why did you get out of soccer?
Why?
Why did you
Not because you get fired.
again?
That's a good question because we have a game tomorrow.
When I played soccer, we went to some other city for some tournament, and our goalkeeper, he was not really good, you know, and I did some mistake. I can try, and actually I was not bad in a goalie, and our soccer trainer, he decided, oh, you know what, better like stay in the goalie, you can play in the field. I said, no, I want to play in the field. It was some conflicts, and that's it, I just quit.
When you have a fight coming up, how long do you train hard? I mean,
Usually 8 to 10 weeks, but my fight against Fedor, I had 12 weeks camp in LA.
okay.
Actually, it wasn't a good idea because, you know, I tried to mix, and I brought my people from Chicago, my trainers, to LA, and it wasn't a good idea. So I thought, now I realize a better idea for that fight, like stay in Chicago and like train with all my trainers from Chicago. Boxing is boxing, MMA is MMA. I don't have to. Definitely, I will not mix anything anymore.
All right. Back in the back, right shirt.
Do you regret taking the Brett Rogers fight on short notice now?
No, like we know, like Affliction canceled all event on August 1st, you know. I guess it was a good idea, I mean, about money, but it wasn't a good idea about fight. But anyway, he beat me. He's on top right now. I guess he's number 8, 7. I'm number 9, 10, maybe out of some ranks, and it's okay.
What does it take, do you believe, to be a top caliber competitor, fight in and fight out? Like, what does it take, training-wise and mental edge?
Before my fight against Fedor, I had some personal problem, you know, like, and it was 1 year, like my grandma passed away.
Yep.
And some other problem, and you know, and I wasn't really ready mentally for fight against Fedor, and actually it wasn't a big mistake to take a fight on short notice against Brett Rogers, but I did it. I thought I'm better than he, and I paid for this, you know. And now I understand, like, physically it's very important, but more important be mentally ready for your opponent, for your fight. And I'm all right now, and everything fine. I'm ready to go.
Go ahead.
When you're getting in shape for a fight, how often do you eat a day, and what kind of foods do you like to eat?
Oh, when I have like 3-4 workouts a day, I would say I eat 6-7 times a day, but it's not big meals, and I think my diet is protein diet. So, of course, I want to be in shape, but also I want to like look athletic, you know. I don't want to like have some love handles on the side. And, but 5 days before the fight, when we're usually in some Las Vegas or San Jose, I'm eating a lot of carbs for energy.
Good.
Do you have any other hobbies?
Hobbies?
Like when you spare time, like something else you do?
Chicks.
Chicks.
Come on, my answer, of course, like all normal guys, I like to go out. I like to read books, movies.
Chicks.
No, I'm in a relationship right now.
You're from Chicago. What's some of your favorite Chicago places? Are you a sports fan of Chicago teams?
Not really. Just hockey teams, yeah. My friend James Wisniewski, he played for Blackhawks, but he's now in Anaheim. But I like hockey. Yeah.
Hockey.
What are your thoughts on women in MMA?
Bad topic. А? Что ты думаешь насчет женские ММА?
Number girls only.
Well, Andrei is going to Corona fight.
I personally don't think so that MMA or boxing any like I don't know sports like boxing, karate, MMA. It's not for a woman. Women's supposed to be beautiful and take care about men and the kids. It's my opinion.
Back to back.
Yeah, which fighter do you respect the most out of all?
All my fights?
No, not just your fights, just period. Any fighters that you've seen or who you respect the most?
MMA or boxing too?
Anything.
I don't know, probably early boxing matches when Mike Tyson was on the top. He was a machine, you know, and I like watch early his fight, and he was great. I can't tell you particularly the fight, and just Mike Tyson, I would say.
Go ahead.
Which people inspire you the most in martial arts?
Eric.
Кто тебе больше всего нравится в martial arts? Кто тебе приносит как бы больше всего энергию позитивную?
Кто?
Да. То есть бойцов.
Я не понимаю вопроса.
На кого ты смотришь?
I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question. So.
Кто тебе больше всего нравится в ММА? С точки зрения хороший парень, там правильный боец и так далее.
If Eric translated right your question, I would say I like Forrest Griffin. He's a great fighter and out of the cage he's a good guy too. So.
Go ahead.
So who do you want to like? Who would you want to beat up out of anyone in the like MMA? Who do you want to like?
What are you saying?
Who do you want to put? Who are you trying to knock out? Like who would you knock out if you knock out anyone?
How's taste, you know? Yeah, I want to fight.
Да.
I want to fight Tim Sylvia again.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's personal.
After you heard that Tim Sylvia passed out in the hotel room after your fight, how'd that make you feel?
You're talking about first fight?
The fight that went all 5 rounds?
When he beat me by decision?
Yeah, and then he had to go to the hospital because he had a concussion.
Of course, I wish that I knocked him out during the fight, but it's like usually if you're champion and you defend your title, it's pretty much judge will give you who's the champion, they will give to that person victory, but at least he felt in the restroom, you know, it's kind of make us feel a little bit better, but if somebody give me opportunity to fight Sylvia, of course I will take it, definitely.
Back.
What do you think of Tim Sylvia getting knocked out by Ray Mercer?
It was a good knockout.
Do you have plans to move back?
To UFC?
Well, move back to Russia after after your fighting career?
I don't know, like, you know, I just came back from Belarus and it was fun, but definitely life much better and more comfortable in the US.
Yeah. Do you pay attention to everybody in your weight division, or do you just pay attention to your next opponent?
If I say like I pay attention to everybody, I'm lying to you, but pretty much I focus on the top fighters, and if I have some my next opponent, I try to watch all his fights, and we try to make a game plan.
Do you have any like pre-fight rituals, like music you listen to, or movies you watch, or anything beforehand?
I watched before my last fights. I watched a lot the Gladiator movie because I like this type of movies. But when I went to Parque de la Hoya fight and I met Russell Crowe, and I asked about, okay, can I have a picture with you? He looked at me like and said, what's your problem, guy? I said, okay, I don't like you anymore. Time I didn't see Gladiator movie.
Okay, go ahead.
What weight class for boxing?
Heavyweight.
Heavyweight? Light heavyweight or heavyweight?
Well, I guess heavyweight.
How many times have you broke your hands in fights and whatnot?
My right hand I break probably already 3 times, and I had when I fought first time when I fought Jan Freeman, I broke my bone, and when I fought Cabbage, it was the same injury, and I didn't give my hand to like recovering, and all the time when I fought I broke my hand in the same place. So
Do you have an average or like a goal weight to be at on fight day? What are you usually at?
Last of my fight against Fedor, I was 235, and against Brett Raj, I believe 242. But
that's actually what you weighed when you stepped in there?
Yes.
I know you guys put on a little weight in between the weigh-in and the actual fight.
No, I can't say that I put some weight. It's just my usual good fighting weight for me. It's like around 233 to 235.
Do you have to cut any weight to make your weight class? Like lose weight? You're just right there?
No, I don't have any problem. And when I used to wrestle in the Sambo Judo, my weight was 106 kilos. It's how many pounds? But anyway, light heavyweight was 100 kilos, and heavyweight it was up to 100 kilos. And my trainer told me all the time, what's the problem? Like cut 6 kilos, because you have to wrestle with the guys who's 135, 140 kilos. And I said, I just can't have a diet. When I'm hungry, I'm really mad.
How do you keep like your nerves under control when you come out and you have like thousands of fans like screaming? Like, how do you keep focused?
You know, my fight against Fedor and Brett Raj, I didn't nervous at all. I didn't, like usually my other fighters, I'm like nervous like 2 days before the fight. I'm swearing, you know. Last fight, I didn't nervous at all. I was like so confident, and I was sure that I'm gonna beat Fedor and Brett Raj, but you know, the fact that they kicked my butt twice.
Go ahead.
For young fighters starting off, what do you think is most important to them to try to get into
discipline? Discipline, train hard, of course, and you have to stick with your game plan. My game plan, I guess, against Fedor, it was, you know, just follow on my trainer's instruction. Don't do any stupid things like I did, like flying knee, jab, front kick, maybe some wrestling takedowns, you know. And I just thought, okay, I'm ready to for flying knee. It was my mistake.
you were to beat up Russell Crowe, would you prefer to submit him?
Как сказать, сливку бы поставил?
Кого?
Поставил бы сливку.
А что такое сливка?
Ну, нос накрутил бы.
Oh, he would twist his nose.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your hero in general?
My hero?
Семья.
I don't have any heroes. I don't know it's good or bad, but I read a lot of historical books, you know, and some, of course, and I just respect what they did for history, you know, and if we're talking about Gladiator movie, I like the character of Russell Crowe, but I don't like Russell Crowe.
Go ahead.
Out of all the organizations you fought for, which one put on the best show, treated you the best?
Of course, UFC is the biggest organizations, they have the best promotion, and they're just professional. But about some other stuff, Affliction was not well.
Affliction wasn't great?
Wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad.
Oh, okay.
If you could have dinner with anybody, who would you pick and why?
I just had dinner two weeks ago with Mickey Rourke, and you know, he's a good guy. He's, in my opinion, he's a great actor, and he's very simple. He's not cocky at all. And we had dinner at New York with some. I had my girlfriend, and he had his friends, and people just came to Mickey and asked about pictures and photos. He was cool with it, so I respect this. After that, we went to some bar, and same story. He's just simple and cool guy. And actually, his movie Wrestler, by the way, it's a great movie. And,
awesome.
yeah, and actually, I like movie with idea, with a story, and I watched already probably 4 times that movie. And I went when I went to Russia, I bought a DVD with Wrestler and with translation in Russian. So it's good.
The UFC is basically a monopoly. They're the top for MMA. Do you think there's another promotion out there that's going to rise up and possibly compete with them?
I don't know. Affliction tried to compete with UFC, and now they with Affliction with UFC. UFC bought Affliction. I don't know that story, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
But I mean, is it going to be bad
No,
for
obviously,
fighters though? I mean,
obviously, 3 organizations. UFC is the biggest one. Strike Force still in business, and Dream in Japan. I don't know.
Right now, they're making a big deal on the UFC about Kimbo coming up through the Ultimate Fighter. Would you ever just fight him outright?
To Kimbo?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? And actually, when we fought together in the same show in Florida, and when Shamrock was hurt, I asked to put me against Kimbo, and they said no. So he's a nice guy. He let me train in his gym, and I don't know. It's nothing personal. It's just a business, you know. If somebody decides I have to fight Kimbo, I will fight, of course.
Is it harder to find a friend or someone that you've trained with than it is somebody that...
That's why I'm not really friendly with anyone in the division, you know. I just I have a good relationship with friendship, I mean, with Forrest Griffin, with Rashad Evans, you know, and other fighters just high by, you know. But sometimes maybe if we somewhere together, we can go out together, but I can't say that I'm really friends with anyone in MMA.
Even Rashad Evans, even though he uses your teeth?
Where you train at these days?
Where?
Yeah, where?
In Chicago. You mean like places?
My gym.
My boxing gym, JEP, wrestling school, overtime wrestling school at Naperville, and Jiu-Jitsu POW, and my personal trainer at Westwood Gym for lifting and conditioning.
Have you ever been in a bar
Where? Bar fight? Not anymore. I used to fight in nightclubs when I was in Russia, no. But now, no, I try to stay away of any problems, you know, because all the time when I'm going out with my friends and somebody try, you're former UFC champion, yeah? You don't respect me, yeah? Let's go, yeah, you wanna fight me? I said, no, thank you, it's tough for me, you know, and usually when I'm going out, like 2-3 friends with me, was like just all the time keep eye on me, and they, if I need some help, they all the time just help me, you know.
You talked about the bar and going out. Are you a beer or liquor guy? What's your preferred drink when you go out?
Water.
Water? What about when you have an adult beverage?
Before I like drink some, I don't know, some maybe Jack and Coke, but now I just can drink a couple glasses of wine, you know, that's it.
Do you have any up-and-comers in your gym?
Hmm?
Do you have any up-and-comers in your gym that you train at? Do you think can make a presence? Young fighters?
Кто-нибудь в твоей...
We have, like I have my school in Naperville all the time, School of MMA, House of Pitbull, and like many young kids train all this, so it's good. When I be like more free with my schedule, I will teach some classes too.
Кто-нибудь выдающий? Кто-нибудь выдающий? Кто-нибудь такой интересный, за кем надо наблюдать? Да.
Young fighters, you can say something from the beginning. Yeah, he's great. You just like keep watching him. You have maybe practice with him and listen maybe opinion of other trainers. You know, because beside me, it's like all my wrestling coaches, Sean Barmetta, John Cadding in Naperville, and some other fighters.
You said you don't think Fedor is the pound-for-pound best fighter. Who do you think is, if you had to pick one fighter that pound-for-pound is the best?
You know, I saw last UFC when Lesnar beat Frank Mir, and he's a tough dude, you know, and I would say like probably Brock Lesnar.
Pound for pound? Yeah. I disagree.
Your problem.
Go ahead. Think Lesnar went a little overboard with showboating afterwards, or?
I don't know the question.
Выпендриваться начал Лезнер. Что ты
No,
думаешь?
like I said, I don't like his attitude. I don't like his attitude because he's inside. I mean, not during the fight, like he's inside in the octagon after the fight and press conference. How's he acting out of octagon? But he's a champion, you know. And I don't, like I said, I don't like him like a person, but he's a champion. And obviously, my opinion, he's cocky and he has a big mouth.
What do you think of the Ultimate Fighter show? Do you think that's good for up-and-coming fighters, giving them the opportunity to get the exposure to get into the UFC?
I think so, and to be honest with you, I just watched first season when final fight was Forrest and Stefan Bonner. Yeah, I just watched first show. I mean, like first season. That's it. After, my opinion, second, third was like too much negative, like alcohol, you know, totally against my vision of fighter and my vision of life, you know, if you're a public person. My opinion, you have to respect other people, you have to respect your friends, you know, not only your friends, your MMA friends, and you just have to be more accurate and be more
Блин.
You have to be, I don't know, he doesn't. You have to be more like I said, accurate and more intelligent. Out of the ring, out of like fighting career, you just have to respect your people, because my opinion, when I had some problem with UFC, I didn't fight for 11 months, and how I acted before, how I was before for my fans, you know, even I didn't fight 11 months, my fans still love me, and they send me a lot of good emails, they send me a lot of messages, and just they support me. It's, you know, it's, I would say that I'm very happy. I'm very lucky person, and I'm very lucky athlete because of my fans. UFC still want me back, you know. It means a lot to me. So you have to respect your fans.
What's the best part about being an MMA superstar?
MMA superstar.
Like an icon.
Best part.
Chicks?
When you
Kidding, I'm kidding.
Kate, I didn't say it. No. You don't have to stay in line tonight, club.
With all the problems with like steroids and other sports, do you see steroids being like a problem in like the UFC or like MMA in general?
I never used steroids, and you know, for me it's kind of. I don't want to judge anybody, you know. It's like it's their business, and but you know, UFC was some fighters in UFC were cut with steroids because of steroids. Josh Barnett, he lost $1 million fight for $1 million for the fight against Fedor, and I think it's not really necessary if you wanna just train hard. It's my opinion. I don't know what to say.
How hard do you train every day when you're preparing for a fight? And how long?
The honest is when I train hard. I train hard, and sometimes my blood pressure is like close to 200, you know, and I know it's not healthy, but I just have to. If you
how long are your sessions?
When I have camp and I prepare for my fight, I usually train 5-6 days a week, and 3-4 workouts a day, and I spend probably every day 6 to 8 hours every day in the gym.
What's your least favorite part of training?
Huh?
What's your least favorite part of training? Like running, lifting?
I like knock people out, but it doesn't mean that I prefer box. Actually, no, I prefer box for last fights. I spent same amount of time in the boxing gym, in wrestling school, and in jiu-jitsu.
Что тебе нравится больше всего?
And I can't really pick what I like prefer training. I like training 3 disciplines because I understand that you have to be ready for if you're on the ground, you have to be ready, and you have to train a lot with in jiu-jitsu. If you want to take somebody out, you have to practice a lot, of course, in freestyle. I mean, in wrestling, and of course, I like boxing.
Is there any aspect that you really don't like to do, like run or lift or?
I don't like when my trainers push me a lot, you know, but I have to deal with that because they are professionals. All my trainers are professional. Like I am very lucky athlete because they are all professional. Besides, they all my friends. They have everybody great coaching experience or great fighting experience. So it's great.
Did you bring in Freddie Roach, or did Freddie Roach come to you?
No, my friend. He's a friend with he's still a friend with my boxing manager, Billy Kim from LA, and he asked me if I want to go and train with Freddie Roach. I said, of course I want to go because I know it's a big line to train with Freddie Roach, and just I came once. First time I came, I would say 2.5 years ago in LA. I trained with Freddie, and since that time I trained 3-4 times a year with Fedor.
So are you still going to keep working with him?
Yeah, because I want to do boxing, and Fedor will be my main boxer, trainer for boxing.
Go ahead.
What's the hardest thing when for you learning English?
I just finished my English school. I went for 3 weeks, and it was 8 hours every day. Every day I was only one student in class, and I had 3 different teachers. You know, it's
English boot camp. English boot camp.
Yeah, English boot camp. And, it's still hard for me, you know. But because I wanna say thank you to Eric. Because of him, I started live video chat with friends, and you know, it's helped me a lot. And now I'm enjoying to have a live chat and have some interview. I know my English not that good like I want, but maybe one day.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
So what's the highlight of your career, your fighting career so far? Thus far. Like what's the best
Самый
thing
лучший
you got
момент.
since you fought? Like what's your favorite moment?
First 4 minutes in January 24th
А
against Fedor.
Would you want your kids to do MMA?
Of course, I want to have kids first of all, and I don't know if my son decides to be an MMA fighter. I will do everything possible to help him, and I will help him to be a great fighter, like his dad. I'm not great yet.
I have more of a comment, but about the Fedor fight. I didn't think that you were really kicking his ass to begin with, and I was pretty upset what happened towards the end. But I didn't think a lot of people that I talked to just kind of said that Fedor was just waiting, and I thought watching the fight they did look hurt, and that you did better than I've seen anybody, you know, through his career in Pride do against him for the first round.
Okay, what's the question?
No, that was a comment. That was a comment. What did you think about the fight while you were fighting him? Did you feel like you were controlling the fight?
No, like I said, when I fought him first 3 or 4 minutes, it was I saw that all my jabs, my kicks, it was like it wasn't the right place. You know, he was hurt, and of course he's a great fighter and he has a great fighting experience. He just caught me, you know, with my. And I jumped like amateur, you know, and I didn't even cover my face and nothing. Just I saw that his right hand, it was too late for me, you know. Just I remember when John McCarthy woke me up, said, "Okay, what is it?" I said, "Come on, John." It was very embarrassing.
So you think Fedor's afraid to go into the UFC because he won't sign with them? They've tried.
Guys, I don't know. It's probably some politics, you know. It's I don't know. Maybe Fedor he can't make his own decision, you know. I don't know. What's the problem why he didn't sign with the UFC?
I would just like to see him fight more competition. I mean, besides like you, he hasn't really fought much, you know.
He signed already. He signed with Strikeforce, right? And he probably for 3 fights, and he already probably has all 3 opponents for next fights. So.
Do you think there's a need for break up the heavyweight division? You know, you have the 205, then you have a guy like Brock Lesnar who is huge, and he doesn't have the fighting experience, but he's able to outmuscle some people in his class. Do you feel that, you know, there should be 205 to 225, or?
No, all guys who fight in 205 they walk around to 225 to 30, you know.
Yeah.
It's not really a big deal.
So big.
Yeah, the Fedor fight was in Moscow, right?
No.
Where was that fight?
My fight against Fedor?
Yeah.
It was in Anaheim, California.
I thought it was about.
Дышка, поблагодари members со страницы.
Okay guys, thank you for coming, thank you for asking, thank you for giving me a hard time.
Thanks.